welcome to a new reading vlog. I'm just finishing editing last week's reading vlog right now. I'm definitely getting a late start to things today. It's actually a little bit after 1 p.m. but I worked at 5 in the morning and I didn't fall asleep last night until like 2 in the morning. So when I came home from work, I ended up having a longer nap than I had expected. But at work, I actually ended up finishing listening to the audiobook for Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. I'm trying to decide on a rating, but I think like a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was definitely way too long and I had some issues with the writing. The story overall was enjoyable. It was a fun and easy read, but it felt like a little bit generic and the romance read a little bit like a Hallmark movie, which if you like that, that's awesome. It's just not really my taste. I found the whole thing to be a bit repetitive in terms of the writing style as well as the content of the story, but I did enjoy the audiobook. I think if I had physically read this, my rating would be a little bit lower, but it did work well as an audiobook. I did just want to say that authorship and the book are not the same. I have an obligation to you guys to be honest and give you my true opinion about every single book that I read. So I'm not going to shirk that responsibility just because I know the author. So I just want to reiterate the fact that me saying that I did not really like this book is not me saying that I don't really like Sasha and Lindsay and that I'm not proud of them, because I really am. I think it's awesome to have a booktuber's book out here. But at the same time, I'm not going to say I liked it if I really didn't just because of the name on it. And I hope that if/when I get published, people will do the same. And I'm just not going to look at reviews for my book because if people hate it, I don't really want to know. But that being said, I ended up moving on to the audiobook for A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. I'm probably saying that wrong, but we're just gonna move on. But it's not a very long audiobook, so I should be able to finish that in the next couple of days. I also have started reading Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse, which I'm once again saying incorrectly. But I kind of picked this up on a limb because I wasn't sure what I had wanted to read next. I've been reading quite a bit of World War II historical fiction recently, and I'm not mad about it because I do love World War II historical fiction, but I actually have been having a really hard time putting this one down. I've been enjoying it way more than I was expecting. I'm on page 102, I believe. It does suffer from some info dumps at times, but I think the fact that this is set in the Netherlands in the time of World War II is really making me connect with it, because I just keep on thinking of my grandparents and the fact that they were alive and this was the world that they were experiencing, especially because this deals with the black market dealings in the Netherlands, and one of my relatives was part of the black market. So I know lots of stories about how my ancestors contributed to the resistance movement, and I think it's just so cool to be reading a book about that and learning a little bit more about wartime Netherlands. So I am really, really liking it. Also, if you watched my last reading vlog, you already know that this pimple is like, whoo, coming out to play. But anyways, I'm going to go and get some stuff done. I think my friend Zoe is coming over and we're gonna have a little bit of a writing date today. But right now I need to get some video stuff done. Good morning. It is Wednesday today and I'm sorry for the lack of updates yesterday. I did take some B-roll though of me writing, so here's that. I have had a really bad headache for the past 3 or 4 days or something like that. I still have it today, but it's just kind of like an all over headache, and now it hurts when I move my eyes. So I don't really know what's wrong with that, but medication isn't really helping. So yesterday was pretty bad, so I didn't feel like vlogging since I was in quite a bit of pain. But I actually did end up reading a lot yesterday. So I worked at 5 in the morning yesterday and I listened to the audiobook for A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. And this is the whole trilogy here, but I ended up finishing the first book and it was good. I did enjoy it. It's a really fun, kind of weird, quirky story, and I'm really interested to see how the movie is going to be, which is coming out in March. I also ended up finishing The Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse, which I ended up really enjoying. I loved it a lot because of the familial and cultural connection. I ended up really enjoying it, and that definitely helped my enjoyment of it. But otherwise, it was a really good story. It's kind of a mystery sort of element that it has going on in it. I found that the ending was a little bit rushed, but I enjoyed the characters because I thought that they were very believable, especially the main character. My mom told me how to pronounce it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Hanukkah, but I could be very wrong. But I found her to be really believable because she is very flawed. She's flawed in the sense that she's a bit selfish, but at the time of World War II, when everyone is fighting for survival, everyone's pretty selfish. And I don't know, I found her character development was a really big thing that I liked watching throughout the course of the book. So this was awesome, and I ended up giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So I haven't really picked up a physical read, but it is super snowy outside, so I'm thinking of picking up The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I've really been following my February TBR actually, which doesn't ever happen, but I think because of my bullet journal, if I end up finishing one of the books from my February TBR, I like color it in. I think that's why I've been wanting to do it. But as far as an audiobook goes, which is mostly what I've been doing, is listening to audiobooks since it hurts to move my eyes, and that's like a big part of reading, so reading is kind of painful right now. So I have been listening to The Lady Elizabeth by Alison Weir. I'm about halfway through it and I am really enjoying it. It's about Queen Elizabeth I, but it's about her in her youth, and it's very interesting to see her as a child and see how she reacts to her father, Henry VIII, and all his wives and all of those things that are happening. It does hurt a little bit to listen to audiobooks because like noise, but I mean, it's a little bit less painful than reading right now, but I am trying to kind of power through. So today I wanted to get a lot of writing done, which I'm hoping is something I will still be able to do, but I don't know if it's going to be like really painful to look at the computer screen or anything, so I don't know. This is just very inconvenient. So I'm just taking some Instagram photos right now. My room is an absolute mess. It just gets so messy when I do this, but lately I've been doing Instagram photos in my dining room, but then I have to keep on like coming upstairs and getting books and stuff, so I decided to do it in my room today, but my room's a little small for it, so it's just, there's a lot. But I got a package from Indigo that I wanted to show you. I think I know what it is, but aha, yes it is. So it is the Indigo Teen Staff Pick of the Month, which is the Hazelwood. I've actually already read this book. I had an arc of it, which I actually have no idea where it went, but I really enjoyed it. It's a really cool dark take on fairy tales, and the finished copy is so beautiful. I love this cover, and even the end papers are so pretty. My only complaint is I wish it was nicer on like the actual hardcover. I feel like you could have done like a design like this, but it is still a beautiful book and definitely a really cool story. It's perfect for like, I feel like fall. It's kind of a good Halloween read because it's really creepy and weird, but it is the Indigo staff pick for February, so definitely go and check it out. But now I'm going to go and continue to take photos since I have everything out on my bed, so might as well do it now. So I've been taking photos for a while. I'm gonna take a break. It's just so tedious taking photos. I really like doing it, but it's like literally I've been working on it for an hour and I think I've gotten like 5 photos out of it. So I'm just gonna take a break and do some shoveling. Good morning. morning. So I am a happy little Canadian today because Roll Up the Rim has started. For any of you who do not have Roll Up the Rim, I'm very sad for you, but basically when you're done your coffee, you can roll up the rim and you win like free coffees or like cars and stuff. So it's like a contest thing that we have at least once a year. Sometimes when there's like special events, it's twice a year. Like last year was twice a year because it was Canada's 150th birthday, but I never win anything, but it's just the thrill of it, you know? I have really terrible luck, and for the amount of coffee that I drink, I should have better luck, but oh well. But I ended up finishing the audiobook for the Lady Elizabeth and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was interesting to kind of examine the what if questions that it does and see Queen Elizabeth I as a young girl and see all the things that she was going through. It was really cool. So now I want to listen to the audiobook for her other novels that I own, but I'm having trouble finding the audiobooks for them because usually I get my audiobooks from the library and they don't have them there. So right now I'm actually listening to The Virgin's Lover by Philippa Gregory because that audiobook, it's like different author and everything, but it picks up right where this book left off. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I've read a couple of Philippa Gregory novels and I haven't really loved them, so I'm gonna be interested to see how I feel about this one. As far as a physical read goes, my headache is kind of going away. It's not as bad as it was yesterday, at least so far. So I ended up randomly picking up Hamilton and Peggy by L.M. Eliot. This is coming out next week, so when this vlog goes up, it'll be tomorrow from when this vlog is going up because it's coming out on the 13th. And as I mentioned in, I don't even know if the video went up yet, but as I mentioned in some sort of video, I've been really terrible with keeping up with my arcs and reading arcs before they come out. So I really want to try and improve upon that, and I will probably be able to finish this one before it comes out, so that would be awesome. I think it was my February TBR where I said that because I included a couple of arcs in there. But I need to kind of make a to-do list for today and see what's gonna happen. I definitely want to make it a writing day. I think what I'm going to do now is do my writing in the morning because basically the way that my schedule tends to work out every day is I read right when I get up and then I'll like respond to emails, do some editing, get ready for filming if I have to film, and that's because like I need daylight to film, so it's not just something I can do whenever. But I do have a couple of videos I want to film, like there's a January wrap-up that I wanted to do, but I'm kind of waiting until this goes away a little bit more because it's really not urgent. Like I'll just do them whenever I can. But a lot of the stuff that I do is reliant on daylight, so I end up doing that stuff before writing, and then I end up doing writing at the very end of the day right before my mom gets home, and I end up running out of time and not having a lot of time to dedicate to writing. So I want to try, and when I don't have stuff to do that relies on daylight, start off with writing. But yesterday I did have a pretty productive little session because I made a map of my world, which was really fun. I came up with some names and stuff. Naming, I swear, is the hardest thing. Like a lot of the names will probably change, but it was really cool getting to map out the world and the geography of it, and I had a lot of fun doing that. So I'm excited to explore the world more. I've been spending a lot of time getting to know my characters, but I was kind of having trouble with getting to know them while not really knowing like where they were from and everything. So I think making that map and having a general idea of what the world is going to be like really helped. But the way that I'm doing Ready Set Novel, which I think I showed you guys, but I don't want to get up now to get it. But the way that that one works is you first get to know the characters a little bit, then you do the plot, and then finally you do the setting. So I feel like that's weird, and I might actually start doing setting stuff today because, or not setting stuff, plot stuff today, because I feel like I really want to delve into the plot more and then the characters will come from it. I don't know. I really struggle with figuring out like what I want to do first and stuff like that for planning. So we'll see how things go. I just know that my outline needs to be done by the end of the month. So I still have lots of time. I was going to see what the date is today, but it's only like the 8th or something. I don't even know. But I also need to do the thumbnail today for my book haul that I have going up because I have a really big book haul going up, and it's so big that I literally could not hold the books in a thumbnail. So need to figure out something for the thumbnail there because I was going to try and do something after I finish filming it, but then usually I do thumbnail and then film the video, so the fact that I did video and then thumbnail, I forgot about the thumbnail, so I need to figure something out. But I'm going to stop procrastinating and actually do something. I want to stop procrastinating and actually do something, but this little guy came to visit me, so like how can I focus when there's this little dude here? He's so cute. So I just got a package and the delivery guy was super cute, which is really unfortunate because usually it's like old men, so I look like this and it's fine, but he was really cute, so made a great impression. But this is from Penguin Random House and I have no clue what it is. I think I might know, but it says that the release date for it is February 27th, which confuses me, so we'll see. Oh wait, I think it is. Yeah, I didn't realize this was coming out so soon. So it is Tess of the Road by Rachel Hartman. So Rachel Hartman, I actually have her book right here. She's the author of Serafina, which I read and I wasn't a huge fan of. What is happening over there? Settle down, ma'am. But she writes books about dragons and I feel like I'm intrigued by this one, obviously since I requested it. I don't know, I'm always like, I'm down for some dragon books, and I felt like her writing had potential, and she's Canadian, which also makes me want to really enjoy it. I really like the cover though. The cover is very pretty, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm out hoping I like it more than I liked Serafina. The spine's really nice too, so we'll see. But I have been doing some writing stuff. I actually did one of the activities from Write to Write by Julia Cameron. So I did the first couple of activities in here, so those were fun. And now I'm actually going to go back and I decided I'm going to go into the plot of things and see how that goes. So I'm using, this is the book I was talking about earlier. I'm using this book and hopefully that will help. I ended up getting the thumbnail done for my video. I hate when a thumbnail like sticks out, but it is what it is. But yeah, I wanted to update you guys with my bullet journal because I haven't actually really talked about it this week, but it's been going really well. Oh my god, I dropped it. This is like the third time that I've dropped it. So I'm really enjoying doing it. I've got my books read here and I've been tracking them in there as well. I haven't really added any more quotes to remember in here. I've filled out my new releases page. I just want to cover the page here because it's like income and stuff and you don't need to know that. Then I have my little Mission Possible thing. I don't think I showed you in my other vlog, but this is what I've decided to do for a writing tracker. So I have little mini deadlines that I made for myself, and then I made like a little thermometer that I will keep filling up, and then eventually I will be done the first draft. So hopefully that ends up working out. But my spending tracker isn't too full, but I've really been liking the book pages that I have. So I have been sticking to my February TBR pretty well. I've been reading way more than I thought I was going to though, so I'm going to definitely run out of space down here to write down the titles of what I've read, but it's fine. Then I have my pages read, which has been going well. My sleep tracker has been really interesting. You can see these two like tiny sleep nights. Those are when I work at 5 in the morning. And then here I have another little writing tracker, but this is a monthly writing tracker. So for this month, since I'm outlining, I have like this week I'm supposed to be doing characters, next week I'm supposed to do plotting, and then the week after that I'm supposed to do setting, and then the final week I'm just kind of like getting caught up and really finishing the outline. So I've just been kind of filling it in like for stuff that I've done. I have been working on characters every day, but I haven't been like, that's not the only thing that I've been working on. And then I really have been using my little daily setup here. So in here I have like my to-do list, my little hourly thing, this today box at the top that is like any important things that I have going on that day. And then I have where I'm tracking what I'm eating every day because I think that's important to be conscious of. And then the little box on the bottom is the pages that I've read that day and the word count for what I've written that day. But I have really been using it, which is good, so I'm very happy with that. This is what my daily little setup looks like with nothing on it. So you can see I have like hourly food. It should be like that, like how that has breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. But yeah, it's been going well, so I'm liking it. So I will probably stick to it. It's not too intrusive, which I really like. I don't feel like I'm spending all my time in a planner. But I have some more stuff that I need to do today, so I'm gonna go and do more of that. So it's about 5 p.m. and I'm going to continue writing a little bit. I ended up finishing outlining Act 1, which is not what I was doing at all, but what I decided to do, because outlining is something I really struggle with, and you guys ask me all the time how I outline, and a really big thing for me, even with starting my last work in progress, was whether I wanted to outline or just go into the story and what the heck I wanted to do. But this time around, I started off by outlining with the snowflake method. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It's basically like you start off really really simple, but then complicate things as you go along. And that was really helpful for me, but eventually I kind of lost steam with it a little bit. So then I started doing the stuff that is in this Ready Set novel book, and that was kind of helpful, not super helpful, just because I mean everyone outlines differently. So then I was googling some different methods, and I just decided to kind of word vomit my outline basically. So what I decided to do is just point by point in a bullet point style tell the story. Now, as I was going along with that, and like I said, I've only finished act 1, but I realized that it was kind of going in an act-like form. So I was keeping in mind the 3-act structure that a lot of people use for outlining, and that was really helping to guide me through my bullet points, but it's literally just kind of word vomit. It really didn't take too long, so I might get through the whole thing today, but I will likely only get halfway through about act 2, something like that. I don't know, we'll see what happens, but let's do it. Good morning. So it's Friday, which is so weird because I felt like it was Thursday, so I'm a wee bit discombobulated here. But I had a super productive writing day yesterday. I spent hours on outlining, and what I finally ended up doing, and I actually ended up finishing my big, I can't really show you, but like my big master outline. So I have 5 pages here of just exactly what I want to happen in the story. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I brought them downstairs last night, so I don't have them, but I have cue cards. So I think I'm going to get some cue cards and I'm going to outline it like on my wall here because I have no other free wall space. So I'm just going to do it on the wall down there, so while I'm writing here I can make sure that I'm like on track with the story, so I don't have to have the big document side by side because that might be distracting while I'm trying to write. So I think I'm going to turn it into little mini events and stick that onto my wall, and then I think today I'm going to start writing the first draft. I think I'm ready, I feel like I'm ready, and if I'm not, then I'll just go back to the outlining stage, but I really do feel like I'm ready to get the story out. I feel like anything else that I'm unsure about, that will come organically as I'm writing, and the loose ends will kind of tie themselves up, if you will. But I'm just making a little to-do list for today in my bullet journal because I didn't get the chance to do that last night. It's a good thing that writing is my only plan for today because we are getting like absolutely lambasted with snow right now. We're supposed to get like a terrible snowstorm and it's pretty much happening. I'm also going to watch a course while I'm making my cue cards, so I'm either going to watch the Writing Great Sentences, or there's one that pertains to what I'm doing in my story that would be kind of helpful. So I'm not really sure which one I'm gonna watch yet, but I am going to go and watch them now. Hello, so I got a package from Hatchet Book Group and I'm not sure what it is, but we're gonna find out. Ooh, now I know what it is. So I requested these and I forgot because it's me. So first we have Tyler Johnson Was Here by J. Coles, which is coming out in March. I'm not sure if it says an exact date. Nope, just March. But this is kind of like a Hate U Give-esque novel where Marvin Johnson is the main character and Tyler Johnson is his twin, and they are at a party and then there ends up being a shooting at this party, which is followed by a police raid, and then Tyler goes missing. So I'm interested to see how this is. Oh, the writer's only 21 years old. I mean, I'm only 22, but like, still. And then the next novel is Love and Other Carnivorous Plants by Florence Gonsalves. This is coming out in May and I'm really excited for it because it seems like the protagonist is a little bit older. She's just finished her freshman year at Harvard and she's finding herself attracted to an edgy older girl she met in rehab. But she ends up going in for treatment for an eating disorder, and she finds herself attracted to an older, edgier girl who was also in rehab with her. It's described as a darkly humorous debut novel novel for fans of strong female voices about the all-consuming nature of love, grief, and the agonizing search for self. I feel like this could be interesting and maybe a good Valentine's Day read, so we'll see. So thank you very much to Hatchet Book Group for sending these to me. I'm actually feeling like in my bullet journal I should have included, I don't think I did I? I should have had a page for arcs, so then I could like write down all the arcs that I have in the month that they're coming out, because all I have is new releases. Which is all fine and dandy, but they're not all ones that I have arcs of. Although I did highlight like which ones I do have arcs of. Anyways, I'm going to go and continue my productive morning. So if I look tired, it's because I got up and woke up to a winter wonderland, so I've been shoveling, but I wanted to show you just how deep the snow is. So I'm just about to go to bed. It's been a really lazy Saturday. I honestly have not really accomplished anything, but I'm just going to read, I think maybe a little bit more of Hamilton and Peggy. I'm about 200 pages into it and I want to finish it before the release date. So far, I'm not really loving it. It's a little bit more into like the battles of the war than I was expecting it to be. And literally we're 200 pages into it and Hamilton has been in it for like 15 pages, but I'm withholding opinion until I'm done, obviously. Literally my hair has been in an ugly bun this entire vlog, so woo! But hello, it is actually Monday morning. I'm just editing this reading vlog, trying to do it really quickly before I go out for lunch with some friends. I want to actually get ready and not have my hair look like this, but we'll see if that actually ends up happening. But I just wanted to wrap up this week. So I ended up finishing a total of 4 books this week, and I had a really productive week despite having a really relaxed weekend and having a headache for most of the week, but I ended up powering through and I wrote a lot. Thursday, Friday, I basically spent all day writing, which is awesome. So I definitely did get a lot of stuff done. I finished my outlines, so now I'm ready to start my first draft. So I would say it was a good week all in all. But as per usual, if you wanted to know any more thoughts for these books, I will do a wrap up at the end of the month. And I also talked about them in this vlog if you watched it. So the first book I ended up finishing is Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings, which I gave a 2 or a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Next, I finished A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle, and I ended up giving this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I finished The Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse, which I gave a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And finally, I finished The Lady Elizabeth by Alison Weir, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. So that is all for this reading vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!